Hey everybody, what's up? Circus here, coming at you with a highly requested video on Twitch, at least anyways. People saying, Rye, when are you going to give us your ban list predictions?
True.
Is a ban list even that important? Do we even need one at this point? I think the game's in a good state. Why would we want to change anything?
Well, Circus, statistics don't lie. All right. And here at DLE, we have a little thing called power rankings. And do you want to know my favorite statistic in the past 30 days?
What's that?
61% of the people that watch our videos are actually not subscribed to the channel. So
No
make sure you hit
way.
that subscribe button so you can get all
Oh
notifications when these
God.
videos go live.
I even walked
Second
into that
favorite
one.
fact.
That was
Second
not planned,
favorite.
folks.
Second favorite statistic.
Yes.
Shiranui's out of control in a side deck format.
Is it? Do you have
So
any proof of that? Is there someone that maybe uh collects all the data from the tournaments going on in the community and you can actually prove
yes, I believe they're the Paradox Brothers of DLE.
yes.
They collect all the data and put it up. And Shiranui, so for people that don't know power rankings, top 8, you earn points. The higher you get in the top 8, all the way up to top 1, you earn more points. And Shiranui has been destroying people by like 20 points
At the end of the week. So yeah, we
at the end of the
track
week.
tournaments, we see how they finish, and then we assign them
Yeah.
points and then rank them. And Herf, I know everybody loves to hate on Herf, but he's a smart guy, and he said a tier 0 format would be if a deck can win the power rankings multiple weeks in a row by 20 points. And Shiranui has done it at least 2 weeks in a row now.
Exactly. So from a competitive standpoint, yes, there definitely needs to be bans. More from like a KC Cup ladder type of thing. Kind of as we look at KC Cup, we're on day 1 of KC Cup here. So we're not seeing too many crazy events kind of expected so far. It's fairly balanced. I think the one thing that's really bothering people is it's so balanced that we're just playing the old meta. That's why it's so balanced. The
Right.
newer stuff that's supposed to be fun is not strong enough. So if you were looking at it from the perspective of new decks, it's just brutal for the new decks. They cannot beat Shiranui. They cannot beat Karakuri. They can't beat any of these decks, unfortunately.
Hashtag free the shark.
Free the shark.
That's
I
right.
mean, Shark did win a battle phase, but just winning one battle phase we saw from the Ferndy doesn't mean you're a good deck. You need to be consistent, and you compare to Shiranui that's winning multiple times a week. Crystron's winning multiple times a week back to back in some cases. Significantly different. So I guess kind of getting into what I do think will be banned. So that's kind of like, like where I am, like from a competitive standpoint. Taking the competitive side and then taking also Konami. When you look at Konami, when they traditionally do nerfs to decks, it's usually from a point of profit. They don't like hitting UR cards. That's just a given. It doesn't matter. Like they just do not like hitting them. And very rarely do they hit back-to-back URs, right? So we just got a ban list where UR got hit Alistair the Invoker. He was sent to 3. So that makes me think that for this upcoming ban list, we're probably not going to see any of the UR cards be hit. So while a lot of people were talking about, oh, maybe this is their chance to hit, another major staple, just like Cosmic, something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think what's more likely going to happen is it's going to be another weaker ban list, one where we're hitting skills, where we're hitting normals, rares, maybe SRs, probably not though. And I do think that Shiranui, here's the thing, it's almost been a year.
And that's
And
about where it gets, right? It's about
that's
that
about where
year.
it gets, which is actually kind of scary. Element Sabers, about a year out.
Well, do
Dark
you
Lords,
remember
about a year.
Heroes? Remember the original
Mhm.
Heroes with Anki and everything? It was about a year that
It
they
was
were in the
about a
meta, and
year,
then
yeah. So it kind of seems like here's the thing: if they actually kill Shiranui, this ban list, every ban list moving forward, I'm just gonna assume if a deck's been around for a year, about to hit a year, it's going to get murdered. That's like the first thing I want to kind of put up there. What I do think is gonna happen though is because Shiranui, here's the thing: I don't mind Ghost Meets Girl Shiranui. I don't think anyone really does. They're
it's a
playing a majority.
masterful deck to watch.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
majority of the cards in that deck are Shiranui cards. The
Right.
Spirit Master, the Samurai, the actual Ghost meets Girl, that is a Shiranui card.
I
If it's not a
dare say
Shiranui,
there's skill involved with that deck, sir.
yeah, there is actually. I would say so. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
It's definitely different from, oh yeah, I just opened 2 floodgate trap holes and went first. So, you might do the scoop buttons
Mhm.
up there if you want to go
Right.
next. Um, it's that version is fun to watch. It's fun to play. It's fun to play against because you feel like if you're losing, they went through multiple turns to get there, not just they flipped up Fiendish and they win. So I think if I were in Konami's shoes, I would push people more towards that version of the deck. It would also benefit them from a profit standpoint because it's like, well, all these people that have been sitting on Shiranui, Staple Nui for so long,
Mhm.
will now have to be pushed onto that new version of Shiranui. So they have to go get Ghost Meets Girl, which a lot of people didn't originally get from the first go anyway.
Right.
So you can get a little bit of profit from that even. And there are multiple ways to do this. I think we're finally going to see skill hits here, level augmentation, level duplication,
Not level
which really,
dupe.
it actually kind of
I
hurts to
just
say
got
because
that on Akiza. You know how many games I had to play to get that? Come on now.
what the no, it really sucks because it's like those are kind of unique skills
Mhm.
and things you definitely can't see in something like TCG. And we've been seeing lately how level dupe, level reduction, level augmentation, all these skills have been used lately with Blackwing, Shira, Nui, so many different decks, right? So it kind of sucks to kind of kill it now, but I think, kind of looking at it, Yu-Gi-Oh really is balanced around ranks and levels and stuff like that. So augmenting them, it's just not like we'll never be able to play any synchro climb deck if level log or level dupe exists. You know what I mean? Because if your cards are properly made, they're always going to be able to rank up with those skills. That's just
Well,
how math works. It's not going to be like even numbers and odd numbers in a synchro deck. They're just always going to be even. They're always going to be odd. That's just how it is.
right. But
So
do you think it's something that needs to be done though, with the XZ's era? Because I mean, I like the skill. What is it? Territory of the Sharks or whatever. It's very
mhm.
specific. You can turn them all to level fours or whatever it is. Um, whereas if you're like doing level dupes or level Augie, and I mean, isn't that kind of broken then?
um, yes and no. I see where you're coming from, but I also think that Shiranui itself is so much more powerful than the Sharks to begin with,
Mm-hmm.
that them having that advantage is where it gets too much. Because their only other option is to release like really power creepy XCs
Which we don't want
that
yet. I don't want that yet.
that'll match the power
Yeah.
of Shiranui or go further. And then you're going to be in a meta where they're playing new XC's deck and Shiranui instead of just, a new deck coming in and Shiranui kind of just, falling by the wayside.
Well, I know a
Um,
lot of people want like really strong XZs right now. I know this is a little sidebar here, but if we get all the cool XZs now, we have 2 years of the XZs era to deal with.
yeah,
We don't
they
want the
do.
Gem Knight Pearls at the end of the XZs era.
Yeah, the
You know what
bad
I
ones
mean?
have to come eventually. So I
Right.
guess just,
Yeah.
give them to me now and get them over with.
Yeah.
So I think the most fair thing, yes, hitting the skill is going to be
Mm-hmm.
super important because then that means their turn one's actually going to be weak. It's not going to be Shogun Saga turn one, Sun Saga turn one, which means their entire combo is going to be slower. And then I think another hit just to force them into the combo version, there's so many different things they could hit. They could hit an extra deck monster. It's actually a surprise that they haven't hit an extra deck monster yet. When all these other synchro decks like Blackwings have an extra deck monster hit, so might as well do something there. I don't know what's going on. They could also,
Sun
yeah, I mean, yeah,
Saga to
honest.
two.
If they did Sun Saga to two,
That would kill
Ghost
the
Meets
deck,
Girl.
wouldn't it?
No, because Ghost Meets Girl version only plays one of the tuner
Oh,
anyway.
okay. So that'd be all right then.
So
Okay.
you could, there would be a more skillful way to play the game. So I think
You
a
just
skill
lost
nerf.
half the fan base right there. Half the Shiranui players are like,
Yeah, I
what?
know.
I have to learn
I'm
how to play
sorry,
the
Shira
deck.
Bros, but
I'm
like,
out.
let's see. You've had the deck for over a year. You can't complain. I'm
They're
sorry.
like, you want me to take my helmet off? No.
Yeah, well,
No, I'm
you know.
moving on.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. That's gonna happen with Shiranui. That I feel like they'll definitely get hit. It's just a matter of how hard they're gonna get hit. It could be just as simple as a skill nerf and that's it, or actually touching the extra deck monsters, actually touching more of the I mean, they could just do Squire and Tuner both to two, and there you go. You're forced into playing combo Shira. There's no other way to play Shira at that
I mean,
point.
is there anything worse right now when you go in, and you see a Kiza on the other side of the table,
You're just like, oh my god.
and then it's like Squire into whatever they get the level 10 out, and then it's set 3 back
There
row.
is something worse, actually, going in and running into literally any of the restart users, because it's
Oh yeah, it's
Karakuri.
Karakuri, right? But
So let's talk about Karakuri.
anytime they get out a boss monster and then set 3 back row, you're just like,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
just a
even want to
nightmare.
play anymore because I know
Yeah,
exactly what those are gonna do. I know there's we have to have interaction, but I would like to be able to play on my first turn,
would be nice.
right? You know,
Speaking of playing on your first turn, Karakuri,
what a
they are
segue ride! That was amazing.
uh, they are another deck that I think are probably going to see some sort of hit.
Yeah.
Karakuri, when they got their first hit, it was very reminiscent of the original Blackwing hit or the original Dark Magician hit,
Hmm.
where they just said, okay, you know what? The deck is so new that we want to stop them, but we don't want to stop them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, when Illusion got hit to 2, and people were like, okay, I'm just not going to play Illusion and play 2 TTH. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why you're seeing things like 1 True Nade in some of these decks, and it's kind of like,
Right.
okay. So I think this will be like the official, okay, now you're nerfed Karakuri. They're probably just going to put Merchant to 2 and free the Nanishi.
Hmm.
It'll be the same thing as putting Ra to 2, essentially. And we
Right.
saw what happened with Dark Magician after that. So,
Because that's their
obviously
big
Karakuri,
starter, right?
that's
The
the big
merchant.
starter. Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to, Merchant literally, if they have Merchant, they have whatever board they want to make
Hmm.
for the most part. So we're probably just going to see something simple as that. We could also see like extra deck hits on them as well to try and limit things, but I think just hitting the Merchant to 2
What
is going to be
about
the
their
fastest, most efficient way.
they have like traps, right? Like they have like a
Mhm.
Crystron impact, right? They have like what is it, Cast Shed or something like that?
The Cast Shed, the counter trap that
Hmm.
negates spell trap effects, they do have that. I think all that stuff is fine because it's like very specific to the archetype. I know it's searchable, but it's not as powerful as say a Blackbird Close, where it's like, oh, you play Blackbird Close from the hand. There's no, I have no chance to cosmic it, and it gets to summon a monster. It's not like that levels of powerful, I
Right.
feel. And really, it only sucks when like they counter your True Nade or something. Which obviously, if they're not as consistent, it's not going to matter. They're going to probably have to play less traps and maybe not even play Restart anymore. They're probably going to play Restart still. Let's be honest, but
Right.
you know,
Well,
I think
restart's
just a proper.
been nerfed to the point where I don't think they could do it anymore, right? 'Cause you have to have like an equal number of spells and traps, right?
Yeah, I don't know what
7
else
of
they could
each or
really do.
something like that. And,
Restart, but only have one less card in your hand. Oh Lord.
oh my God, could you imagine?
um, I don't think Karakuri needs to be further hit. It just the original nerf that they received needs to actually have an impact. Same thing with Dark Magician when they got their first hit. It was like, I see where you're going, Konami, but you didn't really do anything. You hit the
Right.
wrong card, so let's just transfer to a different card and call it a day
Yeah.
from there. So I think that's the most likely. Unlikely scenario, they could do the Blackwing thing where they have like one tuner and then one extra deck monster limited, so you only play one of each, but then that would actually probably kill
Hmm.
the deck. So I hope they don't do that. I don't want Karakuri dead. I just want them,
Yeah.
a
It's just
little bit closer to everyone else's power level.
it's just way too new of a deck, right? I mean, I'd
Yeah,
hate
I
to see
mean,
it go. It just joined the meta. What, like in was it June or July or when
technically,
was it?
the reason it got nerfed so fast is it's actually an old deck with new support. And then
Right.
they nerfed the old stuff. Like all this stuff that we're talking about nerfing is actually the old support. It's not even the new support. None of the new support's getting hit whatsoever.
Yeah, but I mean, it
Um,
was gone for a good year or so,
it was
wasn't it?
gone
Year and a
forever.
half or
Yeah.
something like that. It was a long
Yeah.
time. Where it was
So,
gone so long we thought it was new.
right. Pretty much. Um, a lot of people are like, "Oh, Crystron nerf." If Crystron gets nerfed again,
It's dead.
Konami just hates. Well, yeah, it's dead. But Konami just hates that deck. I don't understand like
Right.
what's going on. I actually very much so enjoy New Age Crystron. It's a little bit faster. It's a little bit more helmet, to be honest. Yeah, most games end
Yeah.
up just being Bryo spam into victory, and I could see maybe them not liking that too much. But when you look at all the cards, they're just everything is already limited so much. The
Right.
Ryon, the Impact, all those cards. The only thing that they could hit would be something like the extra deck space or just like Smyger or Sylphefnir or something like that. And if they do any of those,
No, those are the
GG's.
starters. Well, not
Yeah,
the
it's like
starters. They're the mid starters, whatever. The follow up
yeah,
to the
the mid
starters that you
starters.
have to start the deck.
um, You
There's
know,
several starters in this deck. You can't hit any of them.
if
Half the
they
deck is
do,
starters.
if they do hit Cristrons, I would prefer they hit C stealth attack and
Ooh,
leave
yeah.
the level version alone.
Yeah.
Because the C stealth attack version is a little bit degenerate, just a
It's a
little
little
bit.
gross, yeah.
Yeah, like you kind of get to those, like you said, a bunch more. You even get more starters. You get the Undyne and everything. And then when the Citadel Whale comes, I mean, Citadel Whale is just a problem on its
Yeah, it
own for
is.
most decks. It's just so annoying to deal with.
Yep.
Um, and you know, so that's probably unhealthy for the game. I'll give it that. Um,
Could you imagine nerfing the Citadel Whale or Sea Stealth
well,
Attack?
I
These
mean, that would
cards
be the
came
way to
out
do it,
when?
right? Because like no other deck plays them. So if you put them limit twos, the Citadel Whale and the Sea Stealth, that means they can't play Crystron Impact or Rion.
Right.
Probably Crystron Impact. I mean, they're not gonna, right? They're not gonna do
From
that, are they?
February 19th, 2018. So it'd be
Yeah.
almost 3 years ago,
Yeah, I mean that'd be wild if we saw
Yeah.
Sea Stealth Attack nerfed. But I mean that it honestly might be healthy because, like, honestly, whenever the level dupe version wins, I'm like, wow, he just outplayed you so hard with the level dupe.
Right.
You know, and I'm never angry when I see that.
Well,
But the Sea Stealth Attack sometimes just stalls games out,
it's
and I'm
almost
like,
like a Buster Blader style deck, right?
yeah,
When they get
kind of.
the big boss out for Buster Blader, it's like you can't play the game now, and it's kind of what Citadel Whale does too. It's like attack me, I
Yeah,
dare you. Try to
and then not
target.
being able to destroy spell traps, especially in a
Right,
meta where Cosmic Cyclone is constantly just being, you know, murdered by just every deck. You're just not allowed to play Cosmic Cyclone.
right.
So
So
it's
what do
just
you
it's
do?
just getting
Yeah,
harder and harder. Yeah. So
yeah.
I could see I'd be happy with a nerf like that
Hmm.
to them. As far as other decks, I'm kind of looking at the power rankings right now. I don't think anything else needs a nerf. I don't think Invoke is as crazy. I mean, I know some people are like, "Oh yeah, Invoke Magician Girl is so annoying," but like, let's be honest, guys, it's not that good
You can
compared
definitely play
to
around it. Yeah,
compared to Invoke Neos, compared to Invoked Element Sabers. Those decks were decks where I was like, "All right, Konami, I really need you to step in and say this is not allowed." Compared to that, Invoke Magician Girls just it's whatever. Like this is the meta that I've seen the most where people have an Alistair, like either it gets attacked into, they get flipped up, or they summon it, and then they just can't invocation after because there's nothing to use. It's crazy how many times I've seen that in tournament play compared to the old decks where it's like, oh hey, I just swung into Alistair, so I'm dead now. Because they're gonna have a shell, they're gonna have any element saber, and that's it. GG's at that point. So I think Invoke is fine. I know some people wanted it nerfed, but nah.
well,
It's annoying, but nah.
what are your thoughts of Buster Drake invoked getting nerfed?
I love you, Herf. Never change, buddy. Um,
Moving on.
all the other decks, I think they're fine right now. Black
Yeah,
Wings, I think, are fine. They've definitely been hit hard losing Blackbird Close. Heroes are fine. They're okay. I know Cyber Dragon was on the rise, which I think we actually called, didn't we? I remember. I think we said whenever we did power rankings, I was like, "Ooh, keeping my eye on Cyber Dragon."
yeah,
That's on the rise, but it's not on the rise enough. I think because of basically Sun Saga, but that might be a deck where
yeah.
they might have to keep their eye on. If they nerf too many of the top decks, they may have to also nerf Cyber Dragon again, just because you know without those natural counters, it would be a crazy deck to go against.
Yeah.
So definitely keep your eye on that. I guess things to take off the ban list. We can talk about that.
Well, I
Things that
think
should come
Cyber
back.
Dragons need things taken off the list, right, for them to get back on, or has it just become too
Um,
degenerate with the overflow?
I
Because the
think
overflow was pretty gross.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the hit was just there so they can't play Econ anymore,
Right.
right? So they didn't have it out to Sun Saga, which again, sure, is the most played deck. So then they phased out the meta.
Yeah.
They're slowly coming back, and they're always going to be a good any OTK deck, Dragoonity, Cyber Dragon, Heroes, any of those decks. Blackwings will be good in KC Cup, regardless of what the current meta
Right.
is because they're going to get those random decks that they're just going to OTK when they're not facing those other decks, and they'll be totally fine. They don't even care.
And
Um,
if you want to play Cyber Dragons and you want to go in after those fusion gates, you go right ahead. You go right ahead
yeah,
and pour money into that whole box.
I think if you unlimited Cyber Dragon now, they would immediately be like a top deck, like top 5 power rankings.
Well, yeah, if you can use all the semi-limited cards any way you wanted to, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do think that the cyber skill being nerfed was really bad for them, and that was probably enough of a nerf back when they actually got nerfed. But I think now with the departure of Invoke Neos from the last ban list, I think Cyber Dragon's actually in a fine spot where it is. I don't think it needs to be buffed. I don't think it needs to be nerfed. I think they're just waiting on support because it really just takes one new card in that deck, and immediately you'll see it everywhere because it'll just be amazing. So
that
I
was
think
the
they're chilling.
second nerf on cyber style too. Remember, it used to be really
Yeah.
every
Oh
deck would
god.
use it just to have like tribute fodder.
Yeah, if that skill was still around today, you would still use it like
Yeah, it was like
consistently. So
the ones that Subterrors used to Labyrinth. No,
yeah,
was it Labyrinth Builder or no? What were they abusing? No, it was the other one.
Mass Tribute.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Even better. I think another deck that could see some help, Ritual Beasts. I know people don't like playing against them, so I'm sorry, but to my Ritual Beast homies out there, you guys have been getting kind of dominated since Shadow Game left. You had one really good week, and then after that, oh man, it's been
Yeah.
brutal for them.
Don't tell Kurnow King that he's still convinced that it's a good deck.
Well, in his hands, yeah, probably
Right.
he
Well,
could probably destroy anybody
yes.
in that deck. But for everyone else, for all of us that can't play, second place worlds and all that.
Well, I heard he can play a full like 30 turn game and still have 100 seconds left on his timer.
That's crazy.
That's what I heard.
That's
maybe
crazy.
I'm making that up, but maybe it's true.
Watch a stream and find out. But no, I think Ritual Beast deserves something.
I say
I wouldn't want to
unnerf the Elder, right? Come on, give them back their Elder.
The Elder needs to come back. They probably don't deserve to play TTH again. The reason that we don't see TTH all over the place is because the decks that can use them have been nerfed into the ground. Like a lot of people are saying, oh, TTH isn't even that good anymore. Dark Magician, Ritual B, like all these decks have been nerfed that used to use them like in the main deck. Of course, it's not used anymore.
What about like Winda or Pinky or the Little Lion or something like that?
Winda can't do Winda because it's a UR. Again, this is again Konami logic. Yeah. They could just hit the extra deck. I don't know why they don't hit the extra deck, the Ulti Canahawk.
There you go. That'd work.
And call it a day. I think it'd be fair, or they could just say Canahawk, to be honest. Even that would be fine. Elder is just so critical to getting their combo started.
You need to be able to, that summon. That extra summon.
And I know people hate Ritual Beasts. I know you hate playing against it. I know it's super cheap and it's everywhere when it's powerful. But I think right now it's just extremely weak and could use a little bit of love. So we might see something there.
Give him a better boss monster. How about that? Is there a giant penguin? There's got to be a giant penguin, right?
Everything, all the support. Oh my God, I was on stream and all the support left for Ritual Beast is just absolutely disgusting. It will never come out and do.
Oh, is it that bad?
It's pretty bad. It is so bad. And I think that's for the most part all you can really unnerf safely. For the most part, unless you had something that you were thinking of.
What? Free the fox, man. Free the fox. That's what I'm saying.
Are we going to hot takes? Is this hot takes?
If you want to do hot takes, yeah, but
all right.
We're always talking about stuff that needs to be unnerfed. Free the fox.
Hot takes. All right, time to get your keyboards out, boys. This is where you're gonna say "Rye, you're an idiot" in comments. I think, and I have no basis for this, Luna Lights is gonna get a nerf. Here's why. It's played a lot in Casey Cup, in Ranked. It's extremely cheap. It's the most cheap deck. Konami don't like cheap stuff. That's part of the reason Ritual Beast got hit. And that box that it's in already has like everything else nerfed in it. The Light Swords, everything's already nerfed. I think they're just going to complete the circle and be like, you know what? Luna Lights were giving you a hit as well, just to get you,
get them out of here
on the ladder. So that's my hot take. That's my wild guess that's going to happen on the ban list.
So I think they're also going to hit Arrow Mages just because I think they're tired of people playing free-to-play decks. I think
no more free-to-play.
Yeah, man, get them out of here. I'd say put Rose. They're going to put Rosemary and Jasmine to 2.
Damn.
Yeah, put both of them on there.
And then we're going to get the Synchro Monster Big Brain, dude.
Yep. I think they're tired of people playing this game for free. They want you to shell out your money, and if you don't deserve to play the game. Plain and simple.
Now the question is, who's going to get more hate, Circus or Rye? That's what I want to know.
I'm used to it, though, so I'm all right with it.
True.
If people aren't hating me, we're not doing our job.
But yeah, I guess that's pretty much my take on the ban list. I think there's a lot of things that I want to happen, but kind of keeping them within Konami expectations. I think that's probably what we're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then just to boot all this, we're probably going to see like a disgustingly good mini box. Not disgustingly good, but a pretty mini box. Because this reminds me a lot of the ban. Do you remember when Vindrids first came out?
I don't think
And
anybody
we got
does.
for that 1 week that they
Right,
were
pretending
considered
they're
meta.
relevant, but go on, go on.
They got leaked, right? And everyone was like, yeah, no one's gonna play this, it's garbage. And then literally 1 day before they came out, whoop, ban list came out, and they were like, oh, now we're gonna play Ventrix
Right.
because it's actually complete
It
and has a
might be
chance, where
possible. Yeah.
before it just wasn't before.
Yeah.
So now
Well,
it's like we can actually play it.
I think we're predicting it's usually up to 2 weeks after the KC Cup. They take their
Mm,
time, they sort through the data, and then they
mhm.
figure out how they're going to hit it. Or maybe they know ahead of time, but then they kind of look at the KC Cup.
I think it's more, you know what I honestly think it is? I think it's more that they have a ban list ready going into KC Cup,
Mm-hmm.
and then after KC Cup, they'll do one final adjustment, and then that final week they release it.
Okay.
Because sometimes you get some hits on there that are like really old, and you're like, wow, that was relevant like 2 months ago, not
Yeah.
anymore.
What? Right. Maybe
So
unnerf Cyberstein.
no thanks.
No.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
What about grass is greener?
Oh, never
Never
again.
again.
We don't listen. Maybe back when the game was, summon Neo, the Magic Swordsman, or whatever her name was, but
Right. Not
not anymore.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think that does it. I think people have plenty to talk about in the chat. So make sure to get in our Discord because that's where we talk about things like this all the time. And we got a great new player help channel. And even better, on Saturday nights, we have a new player stream where we sit and play garbage decks like Arrow Mages and talk to new players about not playing Arrow Mages and things like that. So make sure to check those out on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. All right.
There you go.
Yeah, we're going to get out of here. I'm Circus. That's right.
Don't invest in the Luna Lights. The end is near.
The end is nigh. All right. See you guys.